This is the XL-800 painting process. Almost done. I've got to clear coat it with the two-part epoxy clear coat, and then I can start putting it together. This is the case, and it's got a nice urethane finish. The hardest part on these paintings is the different colors. Now what I'll do is I always do the bottom last, because, and I'll tell you why. I'll put tape over this and then I'll cut and cover everything except the white. Paint tends to roll downhill. So when I cut along this edge and just leave the white, paint doesn't really always roll up and around. So same thing with these. I'll paint the white last, and I'll put my tape across here and then cut it with a razor blade, because paint just generally doesn't roll upward, it rolls downward. So if you do the white first and try to tape off the white, first of all, you've got little tiny edges, and you could cut those, but paint rolls downhill. So I do the white last. I don't like to complain, but I'm not complaining, but this is getting awful tough. I've had some serious eye issues, and doing stuff like the black on here and black and white on here is becoming a lot tougher. It's why I kind of try to keep my tools organized, because that way I can see it, because my eyesight has just not always been real good, and lately it hadn't been good at all. So anyway, I'll be glad to get this 800 done. I'm not sure what's next on the queue on the restoration list. Hopefully I can do a few more and not encounter too many more problems, but it is what it is. This has just been a long ongoing deal. There's been a lot of other stuff go on, but anyway, it's an XL-800 from '66. It's an old one, but I haven't done one of these 800, so I don't know, maybe an 850. I don't know yet which one will be next, but we'll get another one on the table. There's a couple saws like my XL-870 that has a electronic ignition, which it's not supposed to have. I don't know how it got that way, but it looks original. That one and this XL-700 automatic. I don't think I'm going to restore them. They're just in too good a shape. So I'll just have to, I've got two XL-12, Super XL-12 automatics, and one of them's fairly older restoration and the other one's a new restoration. So I've got some Terry saws in here, like XL-76, and I've got quite a few of the, I've got at least 2 or 3 of those XL-102s. And let's see what else I got in here. A big red and a VI. I might do a VI 123 next, but we'll go from there. Like I said, is that I've got a 2-part epoxy somewhere for paint and clear coat. I try to use this. They sell this under different names. I buy this at O'Reilly's. It's a little cheaper. I get a discount there around $29, but as you can see, it's got inside it has a part 2 that when you hit that button with that top deal, it makes a 2-part epoxy, and this stuff is hard. I mean hard. This is probably the only way to really protect the saws with one of these. Now, my restorations, I don't know, they're okay, they're pretty good, but I mean, they're not perfect. But the whole purpose of this is down the road, we're getting to the point where a lot of these saws are going to go by the way of the White Death, or just fall apart and break, and nothing's going to be left of them. So what I'm trying to do is not only restore them and make them look good, but also clean them up and have them for the future. As you can see, there's a new old stock cylinder, piston, new old stock muffler cap, flywheel, and spring, and I'll have a few new old stock stuff on this and new gaskets. So, I'm just going to try to preserve this, preserve some of these for down the road. Found a new old stock handlebar that's in pretty good shape. Needs a little touch up, but not bad. So that's where we're going on this. Like I said, doing this lettering and the paint process is just really a pain. If you don't see real good, I might look into getting some magnifying glasses, but we'll see if that could maybe help. It's been raining here forever. So far this year, we've gotten 29 inches of rain, which is quite a bit for this area. We average 40 inches a year, so we're more than well on our way. Anyway, we'll clear coat this later today or tomorrow, and then I'll start putting it all back together. I've got the duck bill in the vents and the caps. I did an extra cap, and so I still have to go through the carb a little bit, and I've got a new deflector that looks nicer than that one I'll put on. And I was able to. This was not good. They had different size screws coming up from the bottom, and then they wallered that one out. So I ended up putting a coil in that, and I got them all where they all work. And I've got 3 good shoulder screws to go with that. So I was able to save this, and these really are hard to find. These muffler bodies, and I've still got some buffing to do on this, but it's not in bad shape. But these muffler bodies are super hard to find. So we'll just hopefully not need any more of those. I don't think I have any more. I can get some black ones, and then I can remove the paint off of them. But if I zinc chromate them, if I zinc them, which is what they were, they're $75 to have them zinc coated, and it's about $25, $30 to have them chromed. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes and what we do on that. Not sure what I'm gonna do with the bar. This is an old Oregon bar. I don't know that I'll keep it. I may trade it off for a 20-inch roller nose if I can find one. Bars are getting harder to find. I'd really like to restore my Terrybilt 2100, but until I get a flywheel, that's probably going to be out of the question. And I also have 2 Canadian-made export XL-125s I'd like to restore. At least one of them, see if I can make one out of 2. And I believe I have all the parts to do that. So I really like to concentrate on some Terry saws, but at that point you have to think about that. Yeah, every set of decals has to be custom made for those saws, and that's not easy or it's not cheap to have custom made decals for every saw. I guess that's it.